Session 640, February 14th, 1973. Good evening. Good evening, Seth. Now, dictation. There are natural feedback systems within the body and psyche that operate to set up optimal frameworks of balance in which your growth and development can take place. There is some difference here. There is some difference here, which was mentioned earlier, between you and the animals and the particular way in which you create your reality. I am trying to get a rhythm here that will be a good one for you to take notes by. In man, conscious thoughts are highly important as the directors of unconscious activity. You become more responsible then in a particular way for physical effects that, comparatively speaking, are instinctive in the animal. This gives you both a conscious and unconscious feedback system against which to test your experience and alter its nature. Therapeutic systems are an important part of this interrelationships, and they operate constantly. In one way, a state of grace or illumination happens where there is the greatest poised balance of the conscious mind with other levels of the psyche and body, a biological and spiritual recognition of the individual's wholeness within himself and his relationship with the universe at large. Such states lead to a condition of mental, psychic, and physical health and efficiency. The aware mind's greatest leeway through the intellect and its connection with the senses makes it possible for any singly insignificant event to trigger such experience. Intense focus is a characteristic of the conscious mind, and you can call it narrow because it includes only the physical dimension. But within the scope of that corporeal field, it has great freedom to interpret the given dimensions in any way it chooses. The conscious mind can, for instance, see a rose as a symbol of life or death, or joy or sadness, and under certain conditions, its interpretation of a simple flower can trigger deep experiences that call up power and strength from the inner resources of being. Since the attributes of egotistical consciousness have been so misinterpreted, you usually consider it only in its analytical breaking down functions. These are very important as it separates larger fields of perception into smaller ones that can be physically understood. But the conscious mind is also a great synthesizer. It brings together diverse elements from your experience and unites them in new patterns. These organizations then serve as awakeners or stimulation to inner portions of the self, always providing it with fresh experience. The inner self responds through the richness of its own psychic fabric, sending up, so to speak, ever new, particularized abilities to meet the exterior circumstances. When your body and mind are working together, then, the relationship between the two goes smoothly, and their natural therapeutic systems place you in a state of health and grace. I told you earlier that your feelings follow the flow of your beliefs, and if this does not seem true to you, it is because you are not aware of the contents of your conscious mind. You can close your physical eyes. You can close the eyes of your conscious mind also and pretend not to see what is there. It is because you do not trust your own basic therapeutic nature or really understand the conscious or unconscious mind that you run to so many therapies that originate from without the self.